Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for clicking play. So we're here with another look into the future with FM2042. Today we're going to focus on Italy. We're going to look at Serie A, a little bit of a look probably at Serie B as well, and the national team. I'm really interested in this one because I got a feeling that while Juventus are probably dominant early on, I reckon the money that Inter and AC Milan and the growth of Roma and Napoli, I think this could be quite an interesting league to have a look back on over this last quarter century. I don't reckon Juve have had it all their own way. So let's find out, shall we? Let's tap in Serie A and right. You can see Juventus are already the current champions. But wow, immediately looking on that right hand side, Sassuolo have won it recently. Wow. And immediately out of those 8 that are in that little box there, you can already see that Juve have won 3 of them and AC Milan have won 3. Then you've got 1 for Inter as well as Sassuolo. So it looks like it is really becoming a very competitive league. And surprisingly, it's 5th on the reputation list, which I don't really get. I mean, if it's that competitive, surely it should be ranked a little bit higher, but oh well, let's have a look at the table first. You see Carpi are up there. They were probably a yo-yo club. Other than that, I mean, you've got Parma back up there, which is great to see. Perugia are in there. Spezia as well, that's really good to see. Ternana and Verona. Other than that, it's all the usual suspects. I can't see one there that's absent. A big club. You've got both Milans, you've got Juve, you've got Torino, Roma, Lazio, Fiorentina, Sampdoria, Napoli. There's no Palermo in there, but yeah, that's interesting. Let's have a look at the past winners then. Let's see who has been dominating. So you can see early on, as I said, Juventus did win. What was it? 8 out of the first 10. Milan picked up a couple of those. Then Milan won 2 in a row and Roma won 1 before Juve hit 4 in a row. Another brace for Milan and a double again for Juve. And then Milan, Sassuolo, Inter and Juve as we saw. So I expected Juve to win the majority of the titles, but that is kind of how I expected it to go. I was kind of hoping Inter would have won more than just that one. But the fact that it's a recent one is good. And they finished runners-up. The season just finished, and in 2038-39 had a couple of third places as well. So Inter are definitely coming to the fore in Italy, which is great. I really grew fond of Inter after the FM17. We only had 2 seasons with them in FM17, but I really grew fond of them, mainly because of Mauro Accardi. And yes, I am going to see what sort of career he ended up having. So any surprises there? I mean, Sassuolo seem to have come good recently. They've got a 2nd place in 2038 and of course won the title 2 years later. But other than that, there's not really any major surprises for the top 3. I mean, you've got Fiorentina a couple of times in 3rd, Sassuolo 3rd as well back in 2025. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with how that's going. It might be quite an interesting little game to pick up on now, especially as the Juventus job is currently available. So in the job centre you've got the Juventus job, and I didn't mention it in the Bundesliga video, but also RB Leipzig is also available. So they could be a couple of interesting options to take on if you were looking to start a save in this database. On to Serie B then, and you can see straight away that Lazio won it in the season just finished, which is incredible. So Lazio were in Serie B, which is just massive. I missed Udinese. They're in Serie B currently. As I said, Palermo are down there as well. Genoa, quite a big club as well, of course, aren't they? Other than that, it's kind of the teams that you would expect down there. The Ascoli and Benevento and Brescia, Catania, all the clubs that you would expect to see in Serie B. So that Lazio thing, wow, they got relegated. So Udinese won it as well in 2040, so they went up and came back down after a season. Who else have we got down there? Udinese again won it in 2033, so don't know how long they were back up for. You got Parma winning it and going straight back down and winning it again. You've got Genoa winning it, Bari, Palermo. So some big clubs in there that seem to be switching between the divisions all the time. So yeah, again, it looks like a really interesting country to take a job in at the moment. As I said then, the Juve job is currently available. Let's have a look and see who their previous managers have been. So it was Thiago Rodriguez who was in charge, and we saw in a Bundesliga video that he is now manager of Bayern Munich. So of course at the start of the game it's Max Allegri in charge. He did basically 5 years. He left the managerial role. He's now retired. So where did he go? This is what I love. I love going down these rabbit holes. So he was Juve, then he went to Chelsea, then to Barcelona, then to Manchester City. Finished up with 4 years as Italy boss. So that's very interesting indeed. He won 21 trophies with 12 runners-up and 3 third place. So a pretty good run for him. Luis Enrique replaced him and did just under 2 years before being sacked. They then had Ernesto Valverde, so they like a former Barca manager, don't they? Antonio Conte, he came back for just under 2 years before he left. Abel Ferreira, who is, am I right in thinking he is the Man City manager, isn't he now? Yep. Then we had Alessandro Del Canto, did just 2 years before he was sacked. Paulo Fonseca did a couple of years, and as I say, it's Thiago Rodriguez who was in charge before moving over to Germany, but he did win the title in his 1 year there. So yeah, as I say, the Juventus job would be quite the job to take on, I think. Moving on to what is now my club in Serie A, and it's Inter Milan, of course, and currently managed by Diego Simeone, which is something I am sure we will see in real life. Of course, he played there for a long old time, didn't he? Well, I thought he was there for longer than that, only a couple of years. He was there, of course. He was an Inter player, of course, when they at the World Cup in '98, wasn't he, with the whole Beckham thing. So he started out at Estudiantes, my Argentinian club, again because of FM. Amazing how you fall in love with clubs because of Football Manager, isn't it? River, San Lorenzo, then moved over to Italy with Catania, Racing Club, before ending up at Atletico Madrid, where in game he did 13 years before moving to Inter. Then went to Liverpool and Barca before back at Inter. Then Bournemouth, Atletico and Inter again. So I think we looked at him in the La Liga video, didn't we? But yeah, so he's been at Inter for a little while now. He's got 13 cups and 5 league titles in his career. So a very, very good manager in the game. Very, very good manager in real life, of course. And on to the other half of Milan then, and AC Milan are currently managed by Juraj Kučka. He has had quite a few managerial jobs now. He's a former Milan player, also played at Sparta Prague and Genoa. Managerial career has taken in the likes of Catania, Benevento, Cesena, Lecce, Vicenza, the Slovakian national team, and now at AC Milan, where he has actually been for 4 years now. And he has 1 cup and 3 league titles, 1 promotion and 2 relegations. So he really does operate at all ends of the tables, doesn't he? But now he's doing pretty well at AC Milan. You can really see him building a dynasty there. He looks average, not brilliant as a manager. He's good at the coaching side of things, but in terms of the man management and the motivating and the tactical knowledge, I'm not really sure how he's got such a big job. We'll just have a look at a couple more then, and we'll have a look at Roma, and they are managed by Alex Neil. Yeah, don't think we're going to be seeing that one in the future, are we? So of course, wow, look how many manager jobs Alex Neil's had. He's been at Norwich, Preston, Bristol City, Derby, Palace, Fulham. Yeah, this definitely leads to Rome, doesn't it? This career path. Everton, Stoke, Hearts, Villa, back to Stoke, Newcastle, then moved to Fiorentina, Real Betis, and Roma, where he has just taken the job. I'm speechless, I really am. He's got 1 league, 4 promotions, 4 relegations to his name. How's he got that job? And finally then, we'll just have a look at Napoli before we move on to the national team and Mr. Accardi. And Napoli are managed by Corentin Tolisso, who is a fantastic midfielder in the game at the moment. You can see he played up until 2031, so he's at Bayern, of course, in real life and at the start of the game. then took in spells at, 10 years at Manchester City, moved on to Inter briefly, and also Piacenza. Moved on to Inter where he retired, and then moved on to brief spells in charge of Piacenza, Genoa, Metz where he had 3 years, then over to Belgium with Ghent, and now at Napoli where he's been for 5 years. So he's obviously doing something right. He does only have 1 cup, 1 promotion and 1 relegation, but, and again, his stats are rubbish. How are these guys getting big managerial jobs? They're absolutely terrible. A quick look at the Coppa Italia as well then, and you can see that Corentin Tolisso has delivered the trophy to Napoli. They are the current holders. You can see Sassuolo continuing domestic success with a triumph as well. Few for Juve in there. Quite a lot of different winners, or no one's really dominated it. AC Milan have won it, Roma have won it, Napoli have won it a few times. There's Inter in there as well, so really good spread of trophy winners there. Interestingly, who is the all-time holder? It is Juve with 20. So yeah, that looks. I like that. I was hoping the league title would have been a bit like that, where it was just really spread out with the winners, but oh well, not to be. On to the Azzurri then, the Italy national team. They are currently ranked 2nd in the world. They are managed by Tommaso Marolda, who is 61 in the game. He's been in charge for 2 years now. Again, not a massively brilliant manager. Hasn't actually. How's he got that job? So he's only really ever been a player. He retired in 2016 as a player. He was a coach at Cesena for 7 years. Then was a caretaker manager and interim manager during that time as well. Moved on to Frosinone as a coach, was then manager of Empoli and the under-21s. So he was the under-21s manager for 12 years. So that probably explains how he got the top job. Let's see what he's managed to do then. So he has got a couple of cups and a promotion, but of course 12 years in charge of the under-21s would kind of mean not great opportunities for trophies, but doing a reasonably good job, I would say, in charge of the national team. As I say, we're not going to look at the World Cup, we're not going to look at the Euros in these videos. We're going to do a separate one for the Champions League, for the Europa League, the World Cup and the Europa League. They're all going to be in one video together. This is purely just about Italy. There's one more person to look at, and it's this guy, the legend Mauro Accardi, the absolute beast. And immediately you can see, oh, he hurt me. He left Inter at the end of the first season. I have just had a look at his transfer history. He went to Manchester City for 89 million. He spent 8 years at the club, scored 120 goals in 247 games. I assume that's just league goals. He then went to Juventus. Oh, Mauro. Oh, Mauro. For 11 million. Oh, that's just heartbreaking. And he had 3 seasons there. Doesn't look like he played a massive amount of games. He wasn't a regular. 23 goals in 57 games. Look at that strike rate though. Just fantastic. I'm aware it's behind me here. You can't actually see it, but 499 games, 244 goals. Oh, the guy was an absolute legend. He is retired, so he has no staff. He didn't go into coaching. You can see here, this is his career history. And you can see his career totals as well now, can't you? But you can see he didn't play at all in his final season at Juve. I wonder if he was injured. Why would you not play him? He retired, I think he was 36 when he retired, and he hasn't gone into coaching, which is a real shame. I would love him in my Barcelona save. You can see he started out as a youngster at Barcelona, even though he is Argentinian. I would love to bring him back in that save. Incidentally, shameless plug, if you haven't watched that series yet, there'll be a link. Make sure you get along and watch that. It's a really good series, really enjoying it. But that will bring this video to an end, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to smash that like button if you do enjoy this sort of thing on the channel. This is now the 4th one of these. I'm going to do France next. Then, as I say, I'm going to do the European competitions and the continental competitions. Then I think I'm going to do one about Brazil and Argentina and the Copa Libertadores and the Copa Sudamericana as well. I'll do that all in one video, because I have a bit of an interest in both of those leagues as well. I love Argentina on FM. It's such a fun league, and Brazil, of course, with the opening and closing championships. They're just so much fun. You just have to give it a little time to get your head around the rules, but I'm definitely going to go back to Argentina at some point. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. As I say, smash that like button. It all helps the channel find new viewers and just grow in general. And of course, leave comments as well if there's something you want me to look at, be it a team, a club, a player in this database. The plan also is to upload this save so you can download it and begin a career in FM2042. And if that does happen, you've got to let me know how you get on. But guys, thank you so much for watching this. I will see you very, very soon for another video. Bye bye.